This is the book of Second Exodus, chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou well understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings, and wonderful and powerful works, endings, and effects and signs, and every one that shall be saved and shall escape be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby he believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me, even from the beginning. Barak tha Yahweh, Barak tha Yahweh Shai, Barak tha Yahweh, Barak tha Yahweh Shai, Barak tha Yahweh, Barak tha Yahweh Shai. Call Lord Yamla Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Rule well and a great example to the younger brothers in the truth. And peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. Lord, when this edifying lesson of another edition of Measure Dollar Time diligently, and we're gonna get straight into it.
So see, it takes some gall to tell Americans we're going to create a new world.
And he say it takes some gall to tell Americans they gonna create a new world order, and gall means bold or imprudent behavior. You know, basically because these Americans are proud. You know, um, so like it. But Americans are proud, so he like it. It's gonna take some gall to tell Americans they gonna create a new world order on this current world order. Yeah, because that's the plan. In the new world order, the American mindset is not gonna be, do as you want, freedom, this, what they call them, for revolutionary spirit. They don't need that in the new world order. That's why they're gonna destroy. That's why the elite's plan is to have majority of, I think it said 95% of American population destroyed. You know, basically all American population destroyed. They don't have plans on Americans being part of the NWO. You know, that's why by 2025, if the documents are correct, if Esau truly gonna, they plan on having majority of the Americans put to death, man. You know, America has this American spirit has no, besides the wickedness, have no part in the NWO. That entitled spirit that Americans have, that's not gonna be a part of the NWO, man. The New World Order. They don't need that, and they're gonna do away with it. You Americans are through, man.
Order after the last one, globalization, wrecked our jobs and kind of was responsible for the rise of China.
We are in
And that happened because they have no plans. They used America, abused it, and threw with it, man. You know.
inflection point, I believe, in the world economy, not just the world economy, in the world. And now is a time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it.
Joe wants to lead the new world order. He can't even keep his own house in order.
And so what we're witnessing is the violent eruptions of a great tectonic shift in global power. As U.S. global power declines, China ascends, power shifts from the West, from Europe and the United States, towards Asia, and we're witnessing then an historic change, constructing a new kind of world order, far less concerned with human rights, far less concerned with law, a kind of transactional world order of mutual convenience.
Remember back in the early 90s when the Soviet Union collapsed? Bush 41 said the New World Order was an opportunity.
So like this Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 12, it say, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So Joe Biden threw all the rest of you people through. That's why everybody freaky and weird and bugged the hell out, alphabeted out, you know, just gone, man. Because as the ruler of the city is, so are the people, man. You know, Joe Biden threw you fucking Americans through, man. Babylon the Great is through, which is America, man. You know, the Lord entitled this place in the scriptures Babylon the Great, old virgin daughter Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, you know, Sodom and Egypt. You know, the Lord gave this place these names.
We have in this past year made great progress in ending the long era of conflict and Cold War. We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
Well, sadly, Bush lost, and Clinton, Wall Street, and stupid senators like Joe Biden shaped the New World Order. And that New World Order ended up just being massive globalization, putting other countries first and America last, pushing deals like NATO.
Yeah, because the New World Order is a one world government, one world religion, one everything is gonna be one. Going back to what? The Tower of Babel, you know, the ancient Babylon, you know, with Nimrod, you know, going back to those Hamites, that ancient Tower of Babel, they had plans basically on a one world order. Let's go to the Tower of Babel because that's what the New World Order entails, and they gonna do away with you Americans, man. I'm just gonna tell you straight, they have no plans for that spirit in their New World Order, man. That's why on the Georgia Guidestones, the once were Georgia Guidestones, they had a thing called depopulation, reduce the population to 500 million, um, a perfect balance with nature. America don't even have reduce the population to 500 million. It's a lot. America don't even have 500 million people in it, man. You know, it's only like 300,000, something like that, somewhere up in the 300,000 people. So what they tell you, man? Hey, America, a majority of Americans gonna be destroyed if you're not a high level wicked individual as far as in a part of this Illuminati system, this occultist system, you know, such as the senators, Republicans, and different things of that nature, and have bunkers outside of this place. You can be useful, such as scientists and different archaeology, different uh, have special attributes that contribute to this NWO. You're gonna be left here and destroyed, man. They have no part for you in the NWO. I was thinking of a precept, but let's keep going. Oh, Tower of Babel. Like, and also, matter of fact, I'm gonna go. I ain't gonna go to the Tower of Babel. They also did this during the time of the Greeks. You know, and you so called white people are the Greeks. back again, man. You are the Greeks and the Romans. Back. Um, all people build. I think this in. I know it's in the Maccabees. Like, let's see if it pull up. Salak. If I get it, I go back to it.
NAFTA, where we opened our borders, shipped our jobs down south to Mexico, and empowered the cartels that are funneling drugs into our neighborhoods. And China can thank the New World Order for their giant leap forward.
We're joined by Alfred McCoy, professor of history at University of Wisconsin-Madison, author of numerous books, most recently To Govern the Globe, World Orders and Catastrophic Change. His recent article for The Nation is headlined, Russia and China Together at Last.
And that's also a reference to the historic meeting between Putin and Xi Jinping on February 4th of this year, when the two met during the Winter Olympics, and they issued an historic 5,300 word declaration that laid claim to establishing a kind of new global order, to attacking U.S. global hegemony, and to build upon their strong bilateral alliance, their very close economic integration in the field of energy, and to simultaneously block NATO from threatening Russia and block the United States from supporting Taiwan against China's legitimate claims to Taiwan. And so, in effect, what that meeting failed to accomplish was it simply failed to break this emerging alliance between China and Russia, which is literally shaking the current world order.
The international order that the U.S. and its allies built after World War II is, we are told, crumbling.
I really do think this is a moment like the end of World War II, where all of the boats are rocking, but the forces of freedom are doing what they need to preserve and protect themselves.
It's about humility, isn't it, Tulsi? It's about recognizing that the American president can't just shape the world however he wants. And part of being intelligent is kind of knowing your limitations. Do you think Joe Biden knows his limitations, or do you think he's so arrogant that he thinks he's just going to, create a new world order?
Central to that humility, Jesse, is first and foremost recognizing you're not God. You are not in control. And if you try to pretend that you are, what will result, even with good intentions, what will result, unfortunately, is more suffering, more hardship. For the people in the world that supposedly he's trying to save, he seems to be more focused on trying to be president of the world, and along with the power elite of America, taking this missionary zeal to say, you know what, we're going to set aside the problems that the American people are facing and instead focus on saving the world by spreading democracy everywhere. It's just a bigger version.
This the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, and write the vision and make it plain upon the table, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for a appointed time, and at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up in him is not upright in him. But the just shall live by faith. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. And that's the spirit of the presidents of America. Ultimately, right now, who is the king, the leader of this country, Joe Biden. And he focused on keeping that home. Who enlarges his desires as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And that's what Esau and the whole is ultimately doing, starting with the international bankers. They want to gather everybody into one, you know. And him not keeping at home, where is Esau's home? Mount Seir, Petra, the land of Edom. That nigga ain't in the land of Edom. He everywhere else in the earth, calling himself other people and gathering and reaping everything away from his homeland, man. And heaping unto him all people. And ultimately he gonna do that with what? With that MOTB, man. And that's pretty much the point.
Of Obama's Arab Spring, where he took his kind of messianic attitude towards trying to save the Middle East by spreading democracy, but really just left destruction, suffering, and death in his wake. And that is exactly what we will see play out if he continues to think that he is and can be somehow the controller of all people and all things in this world.
I mean, he can barely even control himself, let alone the entire world.
That because of their alliance and their dominant position in this great landmass that comprises 70% of the world's population and productivity, that it almost inevitably that they are going to emerge as the new centers of global power on the planet, is that we're seeing a sense of extraordinary confidence from Moscow and Beijing that literally history and, more importantly, geopolitics is on their side. They believe that their alliance gives them such dominance, such power on the massive Eurasian landmass that they can prevail, that they can not only dominate the landmass, they can dominate international politics. In essence, they are pursuing a geopolitical strategy to break U.S. control over the Eurasian landmass and thereby break U.S. global power. They think that they are witnessing the birth, the historic birth of a new world order in which the great global hegemon, the United States, which has dominated the world for the past 70 years, in which its global power is broken and its dominance over Eurasia, something the United States has maintained since the start of the Cold War in the early 1950s, that is coming also to an end.
Yeah, and it is coming to an end. It's over with for America, and it's over with for you heathens in general, man. Because what you going into, your New World Order, these other nations coming to power, America being no more, it's going to lead to the kingdom of heaven. That's going to be the true New World Order. The law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai being implemented into the earth. The kingdom of Israel being set up. That's the New World Order. But let's get into Jeremiah 50 and 22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. Verse 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? And that hammer of the whole earth is talking about who? America, man. How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord, Yahweh. The Lord have opened up his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation going into those nukes, because all American allies, they gonna all turn on America. They gonna lean towards Russia and all band together against America, man, and gonna destroy this place. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh, who the Lord Yahweh of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans, which is America, man.
And they can break U.S. global power, and they together can construct a new global order.
The movement of China to align with Russia or to the movement of them to align with Russia, or their proximity of moving closer together, is certainly of great concern to us, as we've expressed, and we are not the only country that has expressed that concern, including many other members of the G7 have expressed exactly that concern.
Yeah, all the members of the G7, they gonna forsake this place, man, because America the reason all these nations into shit. Ultimately, it's the bankers, you know, pulling strings behind the scenes, using these puppet presidents, which are puppets, and the masses blindly following the media and following the narrative and being led deeper into darkness, don't know what's going on, you know.
Power of China over the Eurasian continent, their Belt and Road Initiative, this $1 trillion development program that now incorporates around 70 nations in Eurasia and Africa, laying down infrastructure, pipelines, railroads, and roads across the whole Eurasian landmass. If this development project succeeds, and it's 10 times the size of the Marshall Plan that the United States used to rebuild Europe after World War II. It's the biggest development scheme in human history. If this scheme works in laying down infrastructure of rails, pipelines, and roads across the Eurasian landmass, and that draws the commerce of Eurasia, home to 70% of the world's population, towards Beijing, then almost as if by natural law, power and prestige and global leadership.
70% of the world population over there in the eastern hemisphere, man. 70%. America only like 5%, man. A lot of people over there, man.
Will flow towards Beijing. Because every global hegemon for the last 500 years, from the Portuguese to the Spanish, the Dutch, the British, the United States, and now the Chinese, have done one thing in common. They have all dominated Eurasia. Their rise to global.
And all those were Edomites besides China. All those nations that he named that dominated they were all Edomites until he mentioned China.
Power, including the U.S. rise to global power after World War II, was accompanied by dominance over Eurasia. And decline of all of these global powers, including the United States, has been marked by their declining control over Eurasia. I'd say by 2030, by the end of this decade, it will become clear that U.S. global power is eclipsed, that power has shifted to Beijing on the Eurasian landmass, and they are the new global hegemon.
And it's gonna shift, man. And all these nations gonna raise up against Babylon. But this Joel chapter 3 and verse 9, it say, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war and wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hook into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. And ultimately, that's going into World War III, how these nations going to gather up in that Middle Eastern area for the Valley of Yehoshaphat. Now them coming with new infrastructure and all this shit ain't gonna happen, man. This new world order, Esau got so far he can go the Lord until the Lord just come completely take him all the way out of power. That's what's coming to the earth, man. Esau will be taken out of power, man. But that's pretty much the point. Lord willing, this will edify. I want to end it, giving all and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone rule. We have been a great example to the younger brothers in the truth. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah, above, Shalom.